I think the audio needs to be better. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I uploaded a video this morning of the Amen breakbeat. It's an hour-long loop of it. I'm gonna start leaning into that a lot on videos that I'm gonna be doing. So for ideas, I'm just gonna practice along with it because there is so much to do with that one beat. It's one thing to work on speed, especially speed is an area where people want to get fast and they practice it, but it always ends up not being in time and then you just sound like shit anyway. So that's something I really want to focus on. What I'm planning on doing loosely, never have a real idea. In this video, if you're not watching it live and you're watching it later, comment the time mark of anything you see that you'd like to see a video of, like an actual lesson for it. Because I'm going to go through a bunch of different things. I have no idea what I'm going to go through, but it's going to be all over the place. Starting with speed and going through all of that to a click, and more so not just a click, an actual drum beat. This is the beat. Hopefully you can hear it. Loops on repeat over and over. It's 130 beats per minute. So you can mess with the settings. That wheel at the bottom. And this is at normal, then you go to 0.75, it breaks it down. So that's where you get that straight out of Compton, the NWA riff to it. And then you go halftime from there. So leaving it like this, we could just take this pentatonic run to work on speed. So that riff I got from, I think her name's Janelle Monáe. It's a song called Tightrope. It's got a great bass line. It's if I can play it right. Also, that beat I'm going to put in the description below for later on for you to see it. So taking that is, it's going to be an F up here on 7. No, not 7, sorry, 8. So what we're doing is the kick drum for the beat that goes on when the Amen break. So again, this will be archived. You can come back to seeing that. To play that, 0.75 on the playback settings here, so it's a little slower. We'll play it through. So pop, pop, kick. Play that over and over and over again until it's comfortable, because then we're gonna start fucking flying with things, which is always fun and exciting, but we can't really get ahead of ourselves. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. That's the key with playing anything with speed. So once you're at that, then bump it up to the normal speed. Again, it'll be in the description below. And it's gonna be a lot faster. So we try to hold on for dear life and see what comes out. So it'll get your hand moving and it'll definitely start hurting. I would play it up here for now. We can always go down to the lower octave of. But for this, if you don't want to just keep running the whole time, watch you all the time. Thanks for watching. I should post more. So I appreciate it. Yeah, check the beginning again. Like I said, anything you want to see, comment the timeline in this. So to do that one, where was I going with that? Wow, my brain farts way too often. So it's, oh, that's it. So instead of just playing the run over and over again, which is great because it'll get you going, but it's going to be frustrating. It's like sprinting and not knowing when you're going to be able to stop. Learning all the notes on the fretboard. Yeah, we'll get to that one too. For this one, definitely going to go with the notes. So this is F. So we're up here on F. That's the key that we're in, and we're playing a pentatonic. So instead of just playing, you can change it up. So that Jesus Christ Superstar riff. So you could throw that in there with this mix. So your hand isn't flying all the time. So it would be. That'll definitely get your hand going, and get your brain kind of trying to catch up with your own body and arm and hand, and all of it is encompassed in it, yet still has low end. I don't know if you can hear any of this with low end. If the audio sucks, let me know. When it's live, I don't use a microphone, it's just through the phone. I don't know how to figure that out. I think it's the only way to do it. Anyway, if it sounds messed up, let me know. From there, what I'm gonna do, again, the link in the description, I'm gonna keep harping on that once this is uploaded and over. It's also the last video I put up. No, it's perfect, you're perfect. What was that? I think I just missed the name. Thank you for that. So the playback speed, we're gonna go down to 0.75 now. And then we could really get into some of the arpeggios I was doing. I'll find that one and I'll link, everything will be linked in the description. So this part. So it's gonna be, I'll just play it and then we'll break it down more so you can hear what I'm talking about. So now 0.75. I mean, this beat has been in everything. Like, the first one that comes to mind that's really popular, not just rap and hip hop, is Sugar Ray did it. I Just Wanna Fly, I think, whatever. I think that's the title. I don't remember. Anyway, we're gonna use it for some classical shit, but it's gonna be sped up, so. That's gonna be pretty hard to get right off the bat, so we slow it down, because again, the mantra, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Now a real break, it's gonna be halftime. That like kind of Bonham, Zeppelin kind of shit going on. Just lean into it, so. Oops, I gotta think about it. And do it because it's not that bright. But what we're doing there to go through that chord progression is a C major arpeggio. So 1 through, talking scale degrees now, not the actual frets. So it's going to be there. So the scale degree, 1 major third, perfect fifth, octave, and then a major third again from the octave. And I play it middle index, so it's going to be 8, 7, and then we're going to come up to 10, 10, 9. So, and then repeat. That's how you would play. You'll hear it in classical all the time. Ave Maria, that same sequence and pattern. So that's C. Then we're gonna go down to A, but it's gonna be minor. So, actually, I gotta remember how to play it. So, 5 with our index, middle finger's gonna be, what the hell is that? 8, 7, 7, 10. And those last 3 repeat. So, 1, minor third, perfect fifth, octave, minor third. We're just changing the thirds around. So. That's A minor. Then we're gonna just move it up a string, the same pattern. That's gonna be D minor. And then the original pattern, major, we're just gonna start it on G. So you get. Again, this is gonna be archived, so you can go back and learn how to play that one. So to put it to the beat, we'll start it when it's 0.5, so cut in half. Go really slow or double it up. Sorry, my brain is all over the place. There we go. Then we can fly with it. And also, I wouldn't really fuck around with the beat. I gotta stop cursing so much. Sorry. I wouldn't really mess with the drum machine until you have that figured out. Because if you're gonna be spending time trying to stay in time while figuring out what notes to play, was that South Park? You're gonna have a bad time. It's not gonna be fun, and you're gonna put it down way sooner than you should. So once you learn, I don't give a shit if it's in time or not. Just get that down. And then focus on playing it to the rhythm. Once you have that, we could start messing with that sequence even further. So, and make a groove out of it. I came up with it, I don't know, 2 in the morning last night. See if I can remember it. Something like that. But then when you come up with a rhythm, or what I do is I come up with a rhythm for it, and then I will bump up the speed. So we're gonna be at playback speed 0.75 for this one. Back to that NWA beat, which is always fun to play classical too. The point there is you want to stay on time. That's the name of it. If you're missing the notes, doesn't matter. You're gonna miss notes anyway. Especially in a live performance setting when I'm not just sitting in my room messing around on YouTube. As long as you're on time, the way I look at the hierarchy of fucking up, right? If that's a thing I should probably copyright. Do you ever post tabs for any of this stuff? I don't post tabs for a couple reasons. Mainly, I don't know how to. Secondly, I would have to post the tabs, and most of what I do I'm coming up with on the spot. Like, if not on the spot at like 2 a.m. or something. I don't even know. I'll show you how to play it though. Just like the way I look at tabs is it's anything like an actual private lesson. They're not just gonna pull out a pad and put it on like that. But I will say what I was doing there is gonna be, that's the arpeggio, which is at the beginning. I'll rewind it once this gets archived. But what I do there is, so instead of going, I'm going. It's really simple when you break it down, but then when you get the metronome going, you sound like what the hell you're doing, but really it's just sped up. There's nothing that someone can play that you can't play, by the way. That's not building like hot air or anything like that. That's a fact. If someone else knows how to play it, you can play it. If you practice enough and you work on those finger dexterity things, I'll go over it here too. It's my favorite one. At first you can't play it. You'll be able to play it. Guarantee it, you'll be able to play it. You gotta practice like crazy. Starting out, slow as shit. those first two notes. Gonna be right here, index, middle, index. The next thing you're gonna focus on, so look at this in 3 parts. Just practice that. Sounds boring, but getting good is boring. Like, fall in love with the boredom. That's how you get good at music, or basically anything. That's all you're gonna be doing, and yeah, anyone can do that, and so can you. So then you're gonna go from there up to here. So, middle, ring, index. 10 for tab, 10 for tab, 9. It's taps too, if you had to break it down for another song. So the first part, second part, and then just repeat that. 3 parts. Put it all together. It won't sound that smooth at first. Maybe it'll be... And that's fine. If that's what it has to sound like, then that's it. The more you practice it, the more you're gonna get it. And then once you have that going, then you can start fucking around with the sequence of it, like... And even I still mess it up. Anyway, that's the main idea with it, but what I really wanted to get into is using the drum loop for it. Once you have the part down, using the drum loop is everything, especially back to what I started with the fast pentatonic riff. I think it was called Tightrope is the main one that I was doing, right? Now, if we put that to the Amen break and put it at normal speed, or 130 beats per minute, again, link in the description, it's gonna be fast as fuck. So we'll go. The key there is I'm not focusing on the notes, actually. That'll get me messed up. That's what I did towards the end, and I started to flutter it, and that's why I stopped. I'm listening to the beat. The beat is guiding everything. My fingers are gonna move no matter what, and they'll get to that point with practice, and that's from building up. So once you're there, this anybody can do. If you do it long enough, that's fine. Your internal clock, that's the stuff we need to do. That, like my cousin Vinny shit, my biological clock is ticking. Your clock is always ticking. The difference is lining it up with the actual motion that you're doing. So this, with subtle differences, goes from... Anyone could do that, but it's out of time and it's not, it sounds like shit. So, let me see if I pump this up. That's the difference for it, is controlled. Knowing when to put the brakes on, in my opinion, is more important than just hitting the gas the whole time. Anyone could just floor it, and it just sounds terrible. But if you know how to make it musical, and when I'm listening to it is in waves. That's just how I do it. There's a million different ways people find rhythm and find their timing and all that stuff. This is just what I do, and this beat is perfect for that. It literally invented hip-hop. I know that's subjective, but objectively, without this beat, the music we have today wouldn't exist. That's a fact. But I always say hip-hop is like punk. It's not just a music genre. It's way bigger and different. It's fashion. We can go off on all that stuff. But without this beat, shit doesn't exist. So then we slow it down to do that one too, because I feel like I'm just flying by things. Listen to the groove. What do you think about Rickenbackers? I think that they're the most uncomfortable bass I ever played. I'll talk Rickenbackers, that's fine. Or Backers. I know people get hung up on, and they dork out on what things are supposed to be called. I don't know, I call them gyros, not euros either, so whatever. But Rickenbackers, if I'm saying it right or wrong, I don't like the way they feel. That's also, I haven't played them that many times too though. I was lucky enough to play them when I was really early on. I started stupidly young though. So when I was like 12, I had 8 years already of playing. And I think I was about 13 when I played a Rickenbacker for the first time. I didn't like the metal over it, the ashtray or whatever they call it, the pickup cover. And I was playing all over here or whatever. It can be tough to play. Yeah, it is tough, but they sound amazing. And I love Lemmy and Motorhead and all that stuff. It's just for me, it's not, and when I say for me, I've never owned one, or I never had one that I was able to play. And that's a big one that no one really ever talks about. Yeah, the pickup cover, exactly. That's a big one no one really talks about, is how to know what bass works for you. Because typically, typically, no one has a budget to just go buy any bass. And now everything's on the internet for sales anyway. So if you walk into a music shop, if they still exist, it's going to be Guitar Center or a massive place like that, and they're probably not going to have it. So the days of like trying stuff out never really existed, I don't think. Places had certain like holy grail items, and that was really it. But I mean, I with an F bass like this one is a fucking custom bass. I knew it was going to be perfect, and they worked with me to get it built. The Warwick I had in 2003, so I was like 15 or something like that. That thing has seen hell and back. I love it. The Model T is absolutely amazing. It's the best bang for the buck. And the Stingray 5, I played at a Guitar Center, left, came back, was like, fuck it, I can buy it, why not? And I was an impulse buy. First 5-string I ever really actually played too. I was one of those snobs that 4 strings is all you need and anything more is stupid and rah, rah, rah. But back to the topic of Rickenbackers. It's like I talk to a wall. Obviously I have a channel for a reason. Yeah, I do like Rickenbackers, Backers. Just playing is weird. If I take the cover off, I love it. You have an original, that's sick. Well, you're gonna have that forever. So yeah, and that's the other thing with 5 strings. I didn't realize they were quote unquote easier to play. They're not as complicated. Just takes getting used to because this is the other string where my fingers are at forever. Exactly. Yeah, I love the 5 because it makes the whole range different. My phone's going off, whatever. I think I can get this out of here. Hopefully it didn't interrupt it. Yeah, that's with the 5 being able to 2 octave everything instead of shifting all the way up. Oops. It was just that extra string up there. It's the layout is better. 5 extra notes, but it's not really about the 5 extra notes as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I'm trying to think with the back to the Amen break. You could mess around with your tone. This is that's another, since we're talking different instruments, mess around with the tone of your own instrument. Like this can go to passive, right? The volume died out because I have the signal boosted all the way for active. But if you want to I'll keep it active for now, but if you want to mess with the pickups, this is both pickups on right now that I'm playing with, so. And then we can go up. You get that growl, and I call it tinniness. Tinniness, if that's a word. It is in my head until I actually said it out loud. A more thin feeling. It has that growl to it also. So when you're playing that with a groove going, and you just go through your scales or just write anything, like. You really get a feel for what that pickup sounds like. And then if you change it, go to the other pickup, you get that thumpier sound with the neck. Sounds like a different instrument. And especially if I love the using just this pickup for blues and stuff too. Oh, see now I have it. Can't even talk. I have it all messed up and I'm running off time, so I'm not playing to the drum loop. So we can try that. Yeah, I'm buzzing. That part right there is a perfect example of how a drum loop will help, whether you're in advanced stuff or beginner stuff or whatever. When I play that without a drum machine, if I'm playing it to a drummer that has swing and feel, and I don't want to say feel, but moves it around, basically goes in and out with not my actual grid of timing, because I'm a human being, it would be, I kind of stutter. To get back to that one, I'm going to be behind it or in front of it, depending on where it goes. With this hard beat, I can't be behind it or in front of it. I can, it'll just sound terrible. So when I was doing that, I was to get back. It's a pretty hard riff. Well, nothing's hard, it just takes some time, but it's a pretty complicated riff to get back to the one that normally I would swing a little bit. I can't do it with this. It rushes, like. Oops. I can't even play it right. I gotta spell it out. There we go. Even then, it's kind of messing it up. But that's the beauty of playing with a drum machine. It forces you to be good about things. I don't think I have too much to, what is it at? 26 minutes? Yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to break that down for the Amen break. I'm gonna be referencing this beat on a lot more videos going forward, simply because there's so much to play like that. It'll get your right hand moving. I mean, there's inappropriate jokes to make and all that stuff, but it'll really get your hand going. Other than that, any things in the comments, please just go nuts with it or whatever. Let me know what you want to hear to be covered. I'm always at a loss. I have no idea what to do. The story of my life, but you guys help a lot and the interactions are amazing. I'm also going to put up more loops. For the Amen break, it's great for like what I was just playing. We could do classical with it. We could do grooves, we could do speed. There's other patterns, drum patterns that I'm gonna start uploading probably once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'll see how much material I could squeeze into each one. We could do brush patterns with kind of like a jazz feel to it. Definitely the blues, so we can get into those runs. And yeah, just anything you're practicing, definitely play it to the link, the Amen break that's in the description. And just kind of lose yourself with it, because it'll tie it in and change it from 0.5 to 0.75 to normal, jump back and forth between it. That's really all I got. Yeah, any questions, leave it in the comments, and I will see you live way more often this week and following, and I don't know how to ever get rid of this thing. So thank you for everything, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.